T-minus 30 seconds.
Stage 1 pressing for flight.
T-minus 15 seconds, stand by for terminal count. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Vehicle pitching downrange.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
Power telemetry nominal.
T plus 50 seconds in today's mission. We are on our way to delivering Koreasat 5A to a geostationary transfer orbit. Watching the 9 Merlin engines of the Falcon 9 first stage.
Falcon 9 is supersonic.
Capable of putting out over 1.7 million pounds of thrust. About 5 seconds ago we transitioned to the supersonic regime. Coming up in about a second, we're going to hit
Vehicle
max Q.
experiencing maximum dynamic pressure.
We actually just passed through max Q. That's one of the highest stress states on the vehicle. Propulsion avionics continues to look nominal.
MVAC engine chill has begun.
You heard the call out. The Merlin vacuum engine of our second stage has begun chilling in. Same process as the first stage, where we start to flow that liquid oxygen through that second stage engine. This first stage burn will last for about another 30
Recovery
seconds.
bird has AOS.
In about 10 seconds, we'll have main engine cutoff. All 9 Merlin engines at that first stage will shut down. About 3 seconds after that, we will see stage separation, where the first and second stages will be separated by 4 pneumatic actuators, and then we will have the ignition of our second stage engine. Let's watch.
William, you go.
Stage separation confirmed.
We have MVAC ignition.
And we have a good ignition of the Merlin vacuum engine of our second stage. You can see the exhaust plumes coming from the forward view of our first stage on the left screen camera. Our grid fins have also deployed, as you can see there. We use those grid fins to guide ourselves back through Earth's atmosphere to our drone ship, Of Course I Still Love You. In about 15 seconds, we'll have separation of the fairing from our second stage. That's a view inside the fairing. Koreasat 5A on the right side. And we have separation of the fairing. It's a good separation.
Second stage is following a nominal trajectory.
And we have a call out that second stage is following a nominal trajectory right now. Everything looking good. Meanwhile, first stage is continuing to guide itself down. We're coming up on entry burn at about the 6 minutes and 23 seconds for the entry burn. Now, in addition to using those grid fins for guiding ourselves back to the ship, we do have cold nitrogen thrusters That's those white puffs of smoke you see coming on the screen on the first stage image. We also use that to help orient the stage back to the drone ship. Our second stage burn is going to last till about T plus 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Then that second stage engine will shut down. We'll be coasting for about 20 minutes. And then we will have our second burn to put Koreasat 5A into the final geostationary transfer orbit. Entry burn coming up in about a minute for the stage one. It passed through its apogee of about 110 kilometers. So now we are accelerating back to Earth. We use that entry burn to negate a lot of the vertical velocity that the rocket is built up and help slow down the entry speeds so a more gentler touchdown. Entry burn will be about a 20-second entry burn. We're using a combination of 1 and 3 engines, depending on different timing and sequences of this burn. Today, there is only 2 burns since we are landing on the drone ship. We're not going back to Cape Canaveral. So we just have the entry burn followed by the landing burn at about 8 minutes and 6 seconds.
Drone ship AOS.
Stage 1, AFTS has saved.
Stage 1 entry burn has started.
Confirmation of entry burn start. 20-second burn.
Stage 2 continues to follow a normal trajectory.
Stage 1 entry burn is shut down.
And we have shutdown of the entry burn.
Expected loss of signal, Cape Canaveral.
We'll have our landing burn in just about a minute of stage 1. Single engine landing burn. Now we may lose signal, as you saw there briefly with stage 1. We are getting the feed from a satellite in the drone ship. With that tropical storm moving through the area, there were some choppier seas, which makes our satellite link a little bit more challenging, but we will provide you guys updates as we have them. Meanwhile, you're looking at a live view of
Stage
stage
1
2.
is transonic.
The call out for stage 1 passing through transonic regime just came. Trajectory continues to look good for this second burn, or first burn of the second stage, which will have cutoff at about 8 minutes and 30 seconds.
Stage 1 landing burn has started.
The landing burn for stage 1 has begun. A 30-second landing burn.
Stage 2, AFTS has
It's a live view from, of course, I Still Love You, our drone ship out in the Atlantic Ocean.
And we have Seiko.
We do have confirmation while we're waiting for an image from the drone ship that we did have our second stage engine cutoff. But if you've tuned into past and webcasts, you've noticed that we have lost feeds in the past of our stage 1. Right now, we don't exactly know the state of stage 1. But as of this moment, it does look like we are in a good parking orbit for stage 2.
This is recovery. Stage 1 is landed. Recovery operators moving to section 1.
And we have confirmation from recovery operators that stage 1 has landed. Stage 1 has landed. We don't have any images and footage to share with you. Oh, there's an image right now. a little toasty, but stage 1 is certainly still intact on the drone ship. Our second stage is in a good parking orbit right now. So what we're actually going to do is leave you this animation of stage 2, so that way you can keep tracking its progress. At about T plus 26 minutes, we'll be back to cover the second burn of our second stage to put it into a geostationary transfer orbit. So we'll be pausing right now, and we'll see you back here at T plus 26 minutes.